What is up there, Workforce? Chris here with Work to Game, and it is time to review Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, let me be clear right at the beginning here. Brian and I did buy one game for Work to Game here, and the other copy of our game was given to us by Nintendo. So thank you, Nintendo, just to make that clear. The game has been out 2 weeks, and it is time to review it. I've put about 40 hours, a little more, in here, and we have a couple of key modes here I'd like to talk about with just introducing the game, and then we'll talk about my thoughts and whether or not this is a game for you or giving it to somebody or something like that. Now, the first game mode is Smash. So if we jump in here, this is the game mode that everybody thinks of. So within Smash, you have 74 characters to unlock. You can create different rule sets. You can modify these rule sets. It starts with just 2 of them. And these rules can be as complex as you want them. Within the levels, there are way more levels to select than you could possibly know. And if we just select one at random, we can jump in, and there are 74 characters at the launch of this game with DLC of more on the way. So here is the 74 characters. All of them are unlocked. They take a little while to unlock. The fastest way is to keep in mind that anytime you back out to the main menu, you have a chance of a new challenger appearing, and a new challenger can appear what appears to be about once every 10 minutes. So just make sure that whatever activity you're doing, that about once every 10 minutes you kind of back out to the menu and give a chance for that new challenger to appear. That would be the fastest way to unlock these. That is totally random. Story is the most controlled way to unlock these, because any character you unlock in the story mode will unlock that character if you don't already have it out here in the main game. So within these, you have the ability to add computers. You can add a ridiculous number, because there are now up to 8 people on a map. So, you know, 2, 4, 6, 8 all the way. The difficulty can go all the way up to 9. 9 is very difficult. 1 is super silly. And from there, you have the ability to modify kind of different control schemes and things like that. If you know, so it says that I'm Splorer here, and if I select that, I could have different profiles for everybody in my family. That'll track their stats separately. That'll track all of their control schemes separately. So it really allows for a lot of preferences on your home console. Now, with that game out of the way, we can go ahead and move on to all of the other enormous areas of this game. And the most obvious one to start with is staying in here. You have Squad Strike of 3-on-3, 5-on-5. You have things like a tournament and all of that. But if we jump back out, this game has online capabilities. Now, you do have to pay for the Nintendo Online to do this, but you can smash and you can spectate. It's very easy once you're in here. Just keep in mind that Nintendo hasn't quite mastered voice chat at the time of this video, and so I would say that all the limitations of this game are on the limitations of the Nintendo online space. They're kind of newer there than some of, than Xbox or PlayStation. So just kind of keep that in mind. And if you go to Battle Arena, if you just join an arena and your friend has one up, it would be right there. And it is so easy to just jump in and modify that. There are rules like lowest person gets dropped and it lets the next person in. So there's all these cool things to take basically Smash mode online. Now, the next major part of this game to split it into 2 halves is Spirits. And Spirits is split into 2 sections, Spirit Board and Adventure. Spirit Board is basically just repeated battles over and over and over, and Adventure is going to be your story mode. This is the World of Light, and the story is here. It took me right at 24 hours to clear it. I only got 96.74%. I missed one. I got one of the 3 true endings. I can now go into New Game Plus, or I can go back in and see if I can find those last people, because I only have 71 of the 74 fighters awakened. And I have spaces cleared 595 out of I don't know how many, but completion is right there. So that's my first playthrough. I did the vast majority of it on normal. I tried going down to easy for some of the difficult encounters to see if I could just push through to get this review out on time. Hard is really hard for somebody that's not good at the game, and easy just made things a little bit easier. But honestly, I'm going to put together a tips and tricks video on some things that will kind of save you some time and some pain, and then the goal here is to collect. Now, of course, you collect your characters in there, but you also collect, items, and you also collect these spirits. Spirits are these little guys that can kind of help you out. They modify you in some way. I've got like 500 of them. I have about 50 of them up to level 99, and then obviously I have quite a few that are kind of missing and things like that. So I've got a long way to go. as far as kind of, you know, if I want to collect them all. But you can also dismiss them and summon them, which are these, and there's these different activities to check in, and basically this game on its own could be an entire standalone title. Having spent 24 hours on that right when I got the game is ridiculous. Now from there, you would think that's it. We've got our multiplayer mode, we've got our single player mode. You can of course enjoy, you know, Smash single player, and there may be ways to play Spirit multiplayer. I didn't go down that road, but Games and More has other things. So we have Classic Mode, which is basically an individual short story for each of the characters. I've cleared just a few of these. I know Brian has cleared quite a few of them, and basically I went through here and you just get a high score for kind of just running through it once. You pick a starting difficulty. Every match you win, the difficulty goes up. Every match you lose, the difficulty goes down. How high can you get it when you clear this? Now, from there, that is already a nice little arcade mode. You have the training mode to kind of practice and things like that, and then you have Mob Smash. Mob Smash is a super fun way to kill some time. Century Smash is seeing how fast you can clear an army of 100 enemies. This is basically how fast can you do smash attacks to knock them out. All-Star Smash is where you can kind of see how many characters you can take on before you die. These are much, much harder. And then Cruel Smash, the hardest of the set. And so this can really beat you up. And from there, we can move into our vault, which is where it all comes together. Now, there are like ridiculous numbers of music to unlock. There's ridiculous amounts of, you know, challenges to do. There's amazing stat keeping and milestones. Milestones are kind of like your little achievements along the way. Smash tags are what you collect for winning in online. And that is really kind of the core of the game here. So you've gone through it all, you've seen it all. Now let's talk about my thoughts. First of all, who is Smash for? Now Smash is for anybody that has played any previous Smash game and wants that experience back. It does a great job of cradling that. I have a few caveats that I'll mention in a second here, but it's also a great game as a party game or as a single player game. So really, if you enjoy fighting games, that's a pretty broad spectrum of whether or not Smash is a game you should own for Nintendo Switch. And in that context, if you are waiting to buy a Nintendo Switch, I don't know why. Because if you're waiting to buy one, the only excuse for somebody that wants one that doesn't have one is that they don't have the money. Because other than that, I don't know what title you're still waiting for. Zelda's phenomenal. Mario Odyssey's phenomenal. Splatoon's phenomenal. Mario Party is everything a Mario Party needs to be. Smash is just an unbelievable amount of content. There are a ton others I haven't mentioned, like Octopath Traveler and all of that. And then we have, you know, more side games like Dragon Quest Builders. We have more games coming out next year. So if you liked Mario, maybe you'll like, you know, a Luigi game and things like that. So there is so much out there. We even have a Pokemon game to hold us over until 2019 when we get a more traditional handheld Pokemon game. So Smash, in my mind, solidifies, if it wasn't already solidified, the need for a Switch to be that secondary console. For a true gamer, I don't know that the Switch is going to take the place of a more like Call of Duty, Forza, like centric, the Xbox and the PlayStation, the more established console, what you're looking for to play with friends. But if you're playing local with friends, or if those things aren't needed by you, a Switch is a must-have, and Smash just brings that in. Now, who's this game not for? This game is not for anybody that doesn't want to play a fighter game, and this game is really, that's about it. If you like fighter games, this has an aspect for you. And normally I would say, okay, you know, they put their development time in 10 buckets, and if you're only willing to eat from a handful of the buckets, you're not going to get enough to be satisfied. But really, you could buy this game just for Spirit Mode, and you would easily get its value. You could buy this game just for Smash Mode and easily get its value. Brian and I kind of joke that we go for about $1 per hour. We want to make sure that you have 60 quality hours of enjoyable content that you can laugh and have fun, and that is when a game becomes just a shoe-in worth it. If it's less than that, I really need to know that that's a core experience I want to have, and if it's more than that, I feel like I'm getting more than I bargained for. This game, I am 40 hours in 2 weeks, and there is an unbelievable amount that I still have to go. I'm only halfway done with all my spirits. I'm going to go back and play through the story mode and see if I can get that percentage up to 100. I've got Smash challenges that I want to do with friends, see how many level 9s we can take on. see if I can master more characters, because I'm only decent with a handful, and honestly, decent is me being a little overstated there. And so there's just so many things to do in here that 60 hours is just unbelievably easy to hit. So if that's your bar, awesome. Now, what are the downsides of this game? The downsides have to do with connectivity. I've played in online matches and local matches. Very easy to do the local wireless in Smash. You just hop right in. And I played on my handheld. He was playing on the TV. Very easy. I think that my issue was that occasionally the match would kind of lag, and I'm wondering if that's a hardware thing or if that's a software thing that can be patched. I don't know. So sometimes you kind of experience some lag. I could see that starting to be a drawback for the competitive community. That could be frustrating. There's also been a couple of core changes, things like the way dodge works and stuff like that. They're just a little bit different. And so most of the game is true to form, but if you're really looking for that nostalgia factor and differences bother you, some of those differences we might be able to, as we see the game progress, objectively say, hey, they made it better, hey, they made it worse. Obviously, the goal was to make it better, but you know, we'll be able to tell, hey, there's a valid complaint here or not. And I would say that it's not a reason not to pick up the game. There is not a single thing that I have wrong with this game that is enough to bother me, where I would say, I just wish I'd never, this is not even worth playing. This game consistently makes me want to play more and more and more. And I'm really glad that Brian and I paid for one of our copies so that we can each have one, because playing with friends makes this game even better. I am looking forward to my brother getting in town for the holidays here in just a couple days, and he has already unlocked all 74 characters, so we're going to be able to duke it out. Because keep in mind, if you're playing on your console and they're playing on their console, you're only going to have access to the characters you have access to. And so you're going to want to get those characters unlocked, especially if you're going through the random and you're looking for somebody in particular. So that is really it. That is my core review of this game. Is it worth getting? Absolutely. Are there going to be a few moments where you're like, could have been better? Maybe. But probably not unless you're a hardcore Smash player and you're looking for them. You could ignore any mode of this game and still get your value, but if you like all of these even just a little bit, this game may be overwhelmingly large. Is it family friendly? Absolutely. Is it work okay? Of course. So anything like that where you're worried about, can I play it here, can I play it anywhere you can take this game, you can play it. Any age of person should enjoy it. There's enough handicaps and stuff that Brian's had his daughter playing with him, and he can set up all kinds of things to make sure it's easy for her, make sure that the level's not moving left to right, make sure that she has a little more life, make sure things like that, as she just kind of gets the basics of just the hand-eye coordination part of that down. And then as she continues to improve as a young gamer, then he can kind of add those things back in for her. And so there is just a ton of flexibility for anybody of any skill level, any age, to enjoy this game. And my only question would be, if you like fighting games, why would you not get this? If you like Smash games, why would you not get this? Now, if you're looking for true nostalgia, I just want my GameCube, end of time, anything but GameCube sucks, then your expectation is so narrow that this game would have never satisfied you. And I encourage you to watch Game Theory's video on that, if you don't mind spoilers about the story, talking about that kind of dialogue between, you know, developers and players and what's going on there. So I think that is about it. That is my review. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Nintendo, thank you for one of our copies. That was really awesome. We did not expect that. We are part of the Nintendo Ambassadors program, I think is what they're calling it now, which is very different than the YouTube thing. They really don't police our content and stuff anymore on YouTube, so good on you, Nintendo. But what they do instead is they have an ambassador program for kind of any channel that wants to get emails and updates about games and possibly, like this, receive a copy of the game on launch day. So thank you. Thanks to our Patreons, thanks to all of you. If you have any questions, comments about the game, let me know down below. Brian's coming out with a ton of character guides. I've got a couple of guides about things I've experienced. I'm going to try to keep them spoiler free, so they'll be very limited, but if you have specific questions, leave them anywhere in the comments, and we will either get to them there in the comments, or we'll do our best to get to them by making a video or something like that. So have a fantastic holiday season. Go pick up this game. Seriously, I have not felt this passionate about a game being worth its value outside of an MMO in a very long time. So thank you guys, take care, and I will see you next time.
Oh, excuse me. What's up, workforce? Chuck here, telling you should totally like, favorite, subscribe, share, dance, raise your hands in the air. I'm off camera. I'm off frame. I'm new at this. Hey, listen. Yes. You haven't hit that subscribe button. You totally should. I recommend it. Chuck approved. Anyway, also, thanks to all the Patreons. You're in the corners. Whoa!